Reptile show now, kids. So if there's anybody else that wants to come on up here and join us, feel free to come and get cozy on this carpet up here. If you're afraid of the reptiles, you don't have to worry. The ones we brought to show you here today really like kids. They're very friendly. So let's introduce everybody here before we take out our critters. We have Rob over here. He is our monkey and mammal expert. He has brought a very special friend here to show us. Hello, Rob.
Hello.
And we also have our helpers, Chelsea and Justin over here. They are our zookeeper assistants. And we are going to show you guys all sorts of really cool reptiles that come from different places around the world. We have a few rules to go over quick before we start our show here. It's very, very important that you guys stay seated where you are. There is going to be an opportunity for a couple of you guys to maybe come on up here for one of our interactive parts of the show. But please guys, stay seated where you are. We got to keep the volume down. Some of the animals here are a little bit noise sensitive, so we can't get too noisy, although we know you guys are excited and we want you to enjoy the show. If you have any questions throughout the show, please raise your hand. Feel free. We would love to answer your questions, okay? But don't raise your hands yet. We're just going to get our little introduction finished so we can take out some of these animals to show you guys, okay? After the show, if you have participated in touching some of these animals, we have some hand sanitizer for you. We'll give you a quick little squirt of hand sanitizer. Remember that the reptiles aren't toys. We have to be gentle with them, so if you do get to touch one or hold one, we got to remember not to be afraid of them, but also they are not toys, so we have to be gentle with them. Okay, so you guys ready to see some cool animals? Yeah! This guy here, his name is Chickenpox. We call him that because he's got really cool red spots. But he doesn't always have red spots. Sometimes this animal can change his color of his skin to match something that he's holding on to, and he can turn to almost a pure black coloration. And you can see here he's hanging around on my microphone stand here. This lizard also has the amazing ability to see really well at night. He's a nocturnal lizard, so we kind of woke him up for this show here, but he's not going to mind. He's a friendly guy. Sometimes he jumps. He can use his tail like an extra arm. He has a prehensile tail. But if a predator were to grab onto his tail, he can actually make it fall off to be able to get away from his predator. And the tail, because the nerves are still alive in it, the tail will wiggle around for a few minutes just to distract the predator while the lizard can escape. And one of the coolest things that this gecko can do is his ability to cling on to just about anything. As you can see here, we had him on the microphone stand. And let's see what we can stick him to. There's a few things I'm sure we could stick him to. Sometimes we get him to jump. See if we can get him to jump. Sometimes if you pet him like this, he can take a little hop for us. Take a little jump for us.
And anybody with a show of hands guess what kind of lizard this is? Yes? You're close. It looks like a thorny devil, but this one's called a bearded dragon. Okay, these guys are from Australia. These two here are full grown. It's a male and female. You can see on their sides they have what looks to be some very, very sharp spikes. Okay, this is what they use as their defense. Okay, they're not very sharp at all. In fact, they're quite soft if you were to touch them. But if they feel threatened by a predator, they will puff themselves up, make themselves look very, very large. And the spikes, would you want to eat something that looks spiky like that? No, I don't think so. It looks like it might hurt on the way down. So that's what they use so that predators don't eat them, as well as they can use them as part of their camouflage. Now, you know what camouflage is? That's their ability to blend into their environment. Okay, and what they'll do is they'll shimmy down into the sand, and those spikes will actually help break out the outline to help them blend into their environment. Okay, Mike has brought their favorite meal. which are called tomato worms or hornworms. And if you watch, hopefully, we will see them eat one of these juicy little caterpillars. These guys are omnivores, which means they will enjoy both meat and plants. So these guys eat a mixture of salad, fruit, and meat. They really like these caterpillars. They enjoy crickets, and we make a salad for them every day. These guys are very, very friendly and come highly recommended as a pet. Okay, we're going to bring out some other animals after these bearded dragons.
This one might not make a good pet, but those ones would. Yes? This one is much bigger, and although it may not seem too much to take care of, a lizard this big can actually be a handful, okay? And if you're not used to handling them and you end up with one that's a little less than friendly, they can be a difficult pet to upkeep and maintain. At Reptile Kingdom, we do a reptile rescue program, and guess what? Just like the Humane Society for cats and dogs, the dogs that are the smaller ones are always easier to find good homes for. The bigger animals are always a bit tricky to place. Usually we can only bring them to places like an animal zoo or a reptile facility because it just takes so much to be able to take care of these big reptiles. We're not saying that people shouldn't be able to have big pet reptiles, but in our experience, usually the big ones are the ones that people usually have to give up, and there are usually quite a few of them out there that are looking for homes. So if you ever have the opportunity or you want to actually get a pet reptile, you should always look into which ones are easy to take care of and which ones stay small. And I can already tell you there's not many species that make good pets. Bearded dragons make excellent pets, and also the geckos. So we're going to let this guy walk around. His name is Dynamite. He is a red tegu. He comes from Argentina. This is South America's largest type of carnivorous lizard. We're going to let him walk around a little bit. Rob here is going to tell us a little bit about our next friend.
Okay, this handsome fella here, his name is Martin. Okay, and Martin is what we call a green iguana. Okay, I know that he doesn't look very green right now, but that is something that the males will get with maturity. As the males mature, they get this bright orange color to help attract a female. Okay, many years ago when I was your age, people thought that these would make a great pet, okay? And as it turned out,
to answer questions. If anybody has a question, we'd be more than happy to try to answer it for you. So far, all we have seen, guys, are lizards. We're going to see the rest of the gang now.
yeah, just like we walked from my house.
The next one that we're going to take out to show you, her name is Chompers. What kind of reptile do you think that would be? Yes, Scott? Very close, very close. It's kind of like a snapping turtle. She is very, very friendly, but she takes a few minutes to get used to her surroundings here. So like I said, guys, she's a little bit noise sensitive. She's used to my voice, but try to keep it quiet when Rob comes around. We don't want to scare her. They actually have very sensitive ears. They have very sensitive eyes too. They can be a little bit motion sensitive if they see too much moving around. There's Charlie now. Now, Charlie takes a few minutes to figure things out. He'll probably walk around a little bit, but hopefully we'll get to see him eat up some of this salad. That is his favorite food. Usually around this time he's still heating up under his special UV heat lamps. But I know Charlie here, he's got a great appetite. Chances are he's going to gobble up this food for you guys. So you can actually see what it's like for a tortoise like this to eat. Now this is not a snapping turtle, this is not a water turtle. This animal cannot swim. If you were to put him in water, he would panic and just try to float until he made it to the land somewhere. He is a land tortoise. For the most part, they live in pretty dry areas. They only experience rains at certain times of the year, and they spend a lot of time in sand dunes digging little burrows for them to be able to hide from the sun. Go on vacation in the winter time. These guys do not require a lot of care. They only eat around once every 2 weeks on average, and you don't have to give them a whole lot of attention like a bird or a dog. They like to be left alone, and when you do hold them, it's the perfect amount of stimulation just for them so that they don't get too bored. So we have two snakes here, two very special show snakes. This one to the right here, her name is Pistachio. She is around 2 years old. This one's name is Mocha. They are both very friendly. We're going to call a boy and a girl up here to come and have an opportunity to hold these snakes. So let's see here. You want to come up with them? Okay, come on up here. We got this youngster right here that's going to come on up. Unless he's a little shy. Let's see, we're going to pick a girl, and then we'll see if you want. We'll give him a chance to think about it. Okay, how about you in the pink here? You want to come on up here? Be careful up the stairs. You want to make sure you don't trip. All right. Now come on over here. Don't be afraid of Charlie. He won't hurt you.
How many more weeks? We know 4 more weeks. 29 sleep. 29. Oh, and here's the bigger kids. Hi, kids.